Hey there, boys and girls of YouTube world. Today, Duff Dog and I are going to see if we can't get a 1983 Chevrolet 3/4 ton four-wheel drive running. That's right, it's a K20. K means four-wheel drive. C is two-wheel drive. So, a buddy of mine, way out in the opposite corner of the state, neighbor had this thing. Allegedly the clutch went out, hired man smoked it. It was sitting in the building in their way, so they wanted to get rid of it. So, you know me, can't pass up junk. So let's take a look at this thing. So she's an 83 Custom Deluxe, so it's a lower trim level. Doesn't have the four headlights that are the same size. It's got the bigger headlight and then the smaller park light thinger in there. It's got a custom grill guard. Oh, she's a hybrid. I'm gonna bring her up to one of them Tesla charging stations if we get her back on the road. Like I said, it's from the western side of the state, so it's pretty dry. She's got some whiskey dents. Red is not my favorite color, probably my least favorite color, other than maybe like pink, which this one's kind of faded into. White letters out, typical West River cowboy things. I don't know if these are factory or if that's some type of add-on, dealer add-on, conversion. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that a factory GM? Pinstriping? Seems like that was kind of common in that vintage. She's got the chicken chasers up on the roof. None of them are even knocked out. Painted mirrors. I'm believing like a Silverado. Those would be chrome or stainless. Oh, you gonna check her out? Get on up in there. The mice were in here doing a little poopy pooping. Seat is freaking wasted. No tilt, no cruise. Does have AM, FM, no cassette. 4-speed. I would believe that since it's got two-wheel drive, it's a 208 with the aluminum transfer case, no headliner. It's got a full gun rack. Oh, and the air conditioning out the rear window. Or if you're into the booze cruising, you can throw your cans out the back window, your Diet Cokes and such. We wouldn't do that though. Yeah, not much going on here. Some cowboy floor. Oh! It identifies as a Ford. No wonder it's broke down. Just kidding, guys. I hate all vehicle manufacturers equally. Rubber floor mats, roll-up windows. I mean, it does need cab corner. The rockers are dry, though. Must have had running boards on her at one time. Got a tank on this side. The tailgate is pretty good shape, but I don't think it'll fit back on the pickup without some tweaking. It's got the gooseneck ball in there. Oh, this white letter isn't out. Look at these swanky Big Sky Country Montana mud flappers mounted on chains. Oh yeah, that's some real cowboy stuff. Got the big nasty toe bumper on it. Been off the road legally since 03. Told me it was running a few years ago. That's when the clutch went out, so I don't know. We'll find out. I think there's a battery in it. We'll see what that says. See, there's a pretty good whiskey dent right here. Kind of tweaked the box side in. So I don't think that tailgate's gonna mount without a little porta power or slide hammer action or something. Looks like they had something that slid in there as kind of an end gate. Rubber floor mat that's clearly not for this thing. Oh yeah, holding all that moisture in there, so I'm sure the floor is not rusty. Taillight's busted on that side. This side's pretty good. There's like a inner fender thing right here, and that's where all the dirt sits and rusts them out. It's got the rock guard protector. It does have the dual tanks. Does have a running board on this side. It's mediocre at best. No tow mirrors. What do you think, Duff? Tolerable? Maybe? Anything good in here? You're not helping. Come on. Just give me a break. I gotta get that open. There's gotta be something good in there. Oh, it's an 84. I was way off. Way off. 1984. General maintenance, motors, maintenance. Blah. Owner's manual. How about that? Map. Spare gun rack. Pieces. Maybe. Nothing too great in there. Are all the shift handles chrome Duff? I don't know. You just want to be petted. I don't know. I feel like some of them were painted, but let's keep checking her out. Dash pad is not terrible, but kind of. Windshield, she's not good. I hit pretty hard. There's even glass on the dash. Is the white letter only out on one of the 4 tires? Coilover shocks? Dang. Son of a biscuit. This thing's like Ivan Stewart off-road ready. Oh yeah, and then the inner fenders always rust out right there. This door's got a little surface rust on it. A little whiskey dent on the side. Again, cowboy things. This cab corner's pretty solid. It's starting to pit out a bit. Yeah, she's pretty dry. That's kind of why I picked it up, because it was dry. I was hoping it wouldn't be as dented up. I had like one grainy picture of it sitting in a building to go off from. Park light's busted. I'm sure the grill is busted because they always put these grill guards. This is a Laverne from Laverne, Minnesota. They always put those on after they busted up the grill. It does have chrome front bumper. The Valance, she's wasted. The rubber bumpers that probably said Rough Rider Country or Big Sky Country, those are gone. Duff, hit the hood. You're not much assistance today. Ooh, does have a Kelsey Hayes trailer brake controller. Where do you pull that? Oh, just slide it. I'm sure that works just perfect. Here we go. I'm guessing it's got a V8 in it. Did they ever put a V6 in a 3/4 ton? I don't think so. No, you get an inline 6. What do we got here? 5.7 Lee trays. Don't even have the air cleaner lid upside down for all the bogging capabilities. Oh, yep, sure enough, there's the trailer brake controller and it's capped off. Looks like the valve cover gaskets are a little leaky. No flexi hoses. Has it still got the smog pump hooked up? Nope. Nope. Good deal. Good deal. Still got some of the smog stuff up here. Man, this thing is gonna stink if she fires up, because that is a lot of oil. Still got the jack in here. Those are always missing. They converted it from side post to top post. Napa battery that ain't bolted in. Here you go. This will tell us how long she's been parked. May. So they got the 3 punched out and the 8 punched out. So that doesn't tell us much. So is it May of 13 or was it May of 18? We'll have to get a hold of Napa Todd and find out. Came from Newtown, North Dakota. There's got to be a date on here. 5 of 23, 16, 18. I'm guessing that's 18, so she's only been sitting for 3 years. There you go. I ain't gonna lie to you, like some of them other channels would have went off the license plates or whatever. This thing's only been sitting for 3 years. It's small block Chevy HEI Quadrajet. This thing's gonna take right off. We're gonna find out. We know that Napa battery's no good. So first thing we're gonna do is swap that out. Let's check the coolant here. Why do they gotta put the dang cap tight against the radiator support so you bust your knuckles getting that off? Come on, you son of a biscuit. Well, for cheese and rice, there we go. It's there. It's just way at the bottom. Well, halfway. Needs coolant. Where's the dipstick, Jimmy? Well, that's even full. Surprising with all the leaks. I'm gonna leave that off so I remember to top that off. Remind me to do that. We're gonna pull the fuel line off and get that bad gas out of here. Maybe not. It's only 3-year-old gas. We're just gonna wing it. To heck with it. If we stick the valves, small block Chevy, you can't kill them. Let's throw a battery in. Man, look at those off-road shocks. Hopefully they're Monroe's. So good. I'm gonna go check, make sure it's out of gear so that we don't have another incident run over myself like I did at the Bronco. Just kidding, it's in gear. Also, we need to mess around with this Cadillac because I'm sick of tripping over it. It's either gotta go on the scrap, or we gotta get it running, or find a new home for it or something. Because that thing's a shin buster. I'm really not opposed to the side posts, so we're just gonna get rid of these adapters that look like they've been jumpered several times. And we're gonna go straight to the side post because Florida man Dave, is that his name? He got us a dual terminal, so we go to side post. Looks like we're gonna need a locking pliers for that one. She's rounded off. Oh man, the battery tray ain't even all rotted out. think we're gonna get our Jimmy Warner toothbrush out and clean that corrosion up a bit first. If we're gonna do it up right, we should probably put some dielectric grease on there like Watch West Work does, but I don't know if this thing's even gonna run. I am gonna put a new bolt in that though, I think. Using a vice grip is just not ideal. Look at that, even found a new used bolt to put in there. Nothing but the finest for the old Red Ranch rig. No smoke yet. Oh, I'm gonna check, make sure it's on gear. Well, it is now. Let's pull the lid off, give her a tickle of the old hot sauce. Since it's got electronic ignition, they just don't go bad. Once in a while ignition models go bad, but I'm sure it'll be just fine. This thing's got the Mondo filter in it. Oh, looky there. I think this was like some type of screen for backfiring or something. They just cut that right out of there. I like these guys already. Let's see what happens when we give her a tickle of the hot sauce. What do you think, Duff? She gonna light right off? I think so. Is it gonna go or what? I don't even know if it cranks over. No buzzers. Oh yeah. Starter sounds good. When was the last time we had a starter part? Oh, we were at Puddin's. We had to work on some starters, but that doesn't count because that's his stuff. Let's do it. Chevys. Just that easy. Just have glass packs. Or straight pipe. Definitely straight pipe. Now I guess we just need to find out if the clutch is any good. What do you think, pal? Oh man. Clutch goes right to the floor. That's gonna be a problem. So yeah, push the clutch in. And that's kind of where it stayed. Wouldn't it be neat if just some linkage was unhooked? Is this hydraulic clutch? No. There's where the speedo cable goes through. That grommet's pushed out. Oh, there's the linkage down there. You can see how rusty it is. It's been kicking out some rust. Pivot point. Can't really see much up here, so we'll go underneath, take a look. Well, you can see the skid plate plastic protector for the fuel tank is kind of just hanging there. Well, hanging lower than it should anyway. Usually that's what causes these tanks to rust out. Dirt sits underneath these, gets pinned between the fuel tank and that, and they get rusty. Is there still paint on that frame? Dang. Oh yeah, one glass pack and one straight pipe. And oh, that was the catalytic converter eliminator kit in there with all the splices. And then held up with some cable. That's excellent workmanship. You got the proper cable clamp. Sure enough, rusty bed floor, just like I called it with that rubber floor mat. Was that some C-channel for the gooseneck in there to brace up the frame? It's got the Ivan Stewart's off-road coilovers in the rear as well for really taking them big loads. Ranch truck is not complete without some baling twine wrapped around the pinion seal, which therein takes the pinion seal out and causes differential fluid to run all over and run the rear end dry. I think these are Dana 60s? No, corporate 14 bolt, I think. Yeah, that sounds better. Somebody's gonna yell at me either way. What is this wiring fuel line mess up here? Oh, that's because of the dual tanks. And then isn't the diverter valve in here somewhere or something? I don't know. Those things are known to go bad too. Aluminum 208 transfer case. Need to get to the clutch though. Where is said clutch? Well, that is an interesting bell housing. Not what I'm used to seeing. What is this, a 465 transmission? with the side cover for your PTO capabilities. Oh, get skinny. Come on now. Well, it looks like somebody slid the boot off the shift fork. So they were peeking around in there. All the linkage and springs looks to be hooked up. So yeah, I think the clutch is smoked, but I'll do some digging around down here. See what I can come up with. What an oily mess that engine is. Hopefully it's just valve cover gaskets. What do you think, Duff? So under there and I pried on the linkage, and I can get the pedal to come up. So I guess if you just push it down and use your toe and pull it back up, it might work. I guess I've never seen one stick to the floor like this. Usually they just get smoked and they don't clutch anymore. Grab, not grab. I'm gonna open the door so while we play with this, A, we don't get gassed out, and B, if we do get it to back up, because when I put my toe underneath that pedal and pop it up, I feel like it's just gonna go whammy, and come right back. And so then we're gonna go shooting out the door, or through the door if I don't have it open. Good call, Duff. Good call. Let's give her a whirl. Does the horn work? Of course not. Looks like she's set on the left-hand tank. Now it won't start. You hear a heck of a grinding coming from the transfusion. Or the bell housing. Maybe the pilot bearing disintegrated? Oh yeah. As you push it to the floor. Hear that? Now as I push it down, it goes away. It's in reverse. Brakes feel good. That's a plus. Here we go. I'm gonna try 2-footing it on this clutch. One underneath, one on top. Hey, we're doing something. Will it stall the engine if I press the brake? The clutch is kind of grabbing. I held the brake there. Take it for a ride, Duff. So as I was strapping that camera that you're watching me onto the windshield, I noticed that rearview mirrors MIA, typical square body things. And this seat is really sucky compared to any of them. And it even makes the one in Casper seem better. How are the wipers? Not good. Alright. Super low. I don't know how you test a bad clutch. You just romp it, see if the tires spin. I think it's just needs a better spring. It spins both tires and it smokes a lot. It might slip a little bit. I don't think we're going to be able to do a donut either. Well, I don't want to send my pristine tailgate out the back end. So if I mat it in second, does it slip or do the tires spin? Seems like the tires spin. Oh no. Yeah, that's what I should have done. Just went to a higher gear. Should have put it in third. She's slippy, slippy. Revs up, but I don't think the tires are spinning much faster. Yeah, there's fourth gear. It won't even. She won't even hardly pull. I think the reason the clutch went out is because either the spring's bad or there's a whole bunch of whatever, lack of lubrication, rust. It was like holding the clutch pedal in and they kept driving it like that maybe. I don't know. Either way, we're gonna see if we can limp this thing home now. And oh yeah, I can definitely smell said clutch now. Because I do have a new clutch. They're cheap. They're cowboys, so when they say it needs a clutch, it probably needs a clutch. These cowboys know what they're talking about. Power steering works good, brakes work good, huh, Duff? Oh! Suspension, not so much. Must be those Ivan Stewart coilovers. Oh yeah, I'm barely pulling third now. I think we're not far from home. 20 mile an hour is about all she's gonna do. Oh, we hit 25. We gotta do the PEX trick on the door latches, I think. Hopefully that one. Or did you not shut that one down? No, it definitely needs some PEX work. Won't even make it up the hill to the shop. Oh, come on, oh, clutch. Oh. Will it hold the pickup on a hill? No. First it will, though. She's bad. I think we're gonna have to stick a clutch in it, so stay tuned for... Oh, and it's smoking a bunch. Weird from all that oil. Alright. Let's get out of here before this thing burns up on us. Smoky McSmokerton. I did put coolant in it. I didn't even look at the oil pressure or the temp. Is that a bad idea? Tim doesn't say she's hot. I'm sure it'll be just fine. We're out here at Muffin's big shop because he's got a hoist and I ain't putting a clutch in on the floor. He's a nice guy. He's gonna let me use the shop. Well, he's gonna let Duff use it anyway. Well, Duff hangs out with his buddy Maya. Hopefully this thing starts. Left her out here over the weekend. Oh, I forgot. This might be fun with a bad clutch. Quadra pump. Don't run over the dog. Oh. Oh no, we can't even back up the hill that we're on. This is gonna be good. Don't worry, Duff, I ain't leaving without you. We're just going inside. Maybe someday we'll get to have a place like this. We just need like another 540,000 subscribers. Look at this, service. Opening the door. Oh, stupid clutch. Oh, we got a party in here. Oh. I better shut the camera off so I don't run into his hoist. You gonna help or what? Nope. Nope. I don't know that you should be driving under there. All right, skedaddle, Jackie boy. We got her up on the hoist. Oh, the front drive shaft ain't even all slopped out. That's pretty good. Glass pack's rusty. Yeah, it's gonna be solid filming content. Don't run her over! My helpers, at least they got thumbs today. First thing's coming out, I'll whammy out the drive-em shaft. Oh, that one's got a decal on it. She must have been replaced. U-joints are tight. And then once we get those out, oh, I never noticed the factory kink for the transfer case. We get the transfer case out, and then, oh, I should unhook the shifter while we were up there. Shoot, might have to come back down. I don't know if we unbolt the transmission from the bell housing or just take the bell housing right off. I think we'll take the tranny off the bell housing. That way we can line it up easier. Oh, and we got to unhook the transfer case linkage. We can do that down here. Shifter we got to do up top. Jack forgot to remind me. All right, ready to pull her out of there. think. See how this goes. Well, we got her out of there. And she's got a lot of debris in there. You let her down a little bit more, unhook the clutch linkage. I did take the distributor cap off, so hopefully it didn't crack that when the engine tips down, because you get your engine mounts up here, so all that weight's kind of hanging back. Man, what an oily pig. Disgusting. But she's out. Let's get that clutch out of there. Tell you what, old Muffin, he's a nice guy here, but keeps the shop way too warm. He said it's at 68. I'm sweating in here. He must not like to work hard. His brother, he works pretty hard building that fridge. I think it's pretty neat. Fired it up this spring. Didn't get many miles on it. Apparently that hot exhaust headers burned through his air lines for his air suspension. Oopsies. All right, I'm gonna let this thing down a little bit. Get the bell housing bolts out. Change that out, not much to it. Also, lost the cap to that. Well, I know where the cap is, but needles went everywhere. No bueno. Boy, you're all sauced up on ice cream, running into the dumpster. You gotta learn how to use reverse. 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 We got hot cross buns going on here too. And gymnastics over in the corner. We did get the clutch out, but she's bluer than a Smurf, as these kids would say. You gonna try to run me over or what? You been drinking, boy? No. I think we're gonna take this into the machine shop and get her doctored up. What are you doing, Putz?
I'm not a Putz.
You're not a Putz?
Nope.
You gonna help me take this flywheel off?
Yep.
Yeah, right. It's freaking chaos in here.
Wanna see something?
Muffin's daycare. All right.
Wanna see something?
Let's see what you got. Let's look at this. Oh, I could hear your melon smack the concrete. All right, back to work. So we got to get this pilot bushing out of the back of this crankshaft. We don't have to. It's probably fine. That's a bushing because it's all bronze. This one's a bearing Y because it's got needle bearings in it. So how we're gonna get that out of there is we're gonna pack some grease in back behind it,
okay.
Pound that bolt in. You're gonna smash it in or what?
Yes.
All right, grab that grease gun. Are you gonna, you be able to reach up here? Oh, you're running me over. All right.
Squeeze.
Give her a couple pumps. A little bit more. It ain't coming out yet. All right, that's good.
Okay.
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 Don't get that grease all over you now. Where's the hammer at? Grab the hammer. All right. You gonna hold this?
Oh, you get to be the cameraman.
And we gotta see what'll come out of there. You get to be the light woman.
Okay.
You're holding it wrong. Didn't your dad show you how to? There you go. I don't think it worked. This is why we can't have nice things.
He said.
Look at that.
He said. That means.
Gosh, it's right in my eyeballs.
That means it's not perfect for it. Did it break?
No, we got it out of there.
Oh, he said he's not gonna edit this part out of his video.
So we got our old bushing out.
Okay.
Gonna put our new bearing in. All right, we're gonna knock this one in. Call it a night so that we can get that flywheel resurfaced.
I'm not calling it a night.
You guys gotta go to bed.
Nuh-uh. We're still gonna stay here for another 3 hours.
Didn't you say you have like 4 more teeth to come out? And you have like 9 more and 4 more?
6.
6th. They're turning purple. Well, we're gonna run this flywheel out to boom tubes. I guess he's got a resurfacing machine. Get that cleaned up. Oh, sweet, the defroster's working. I guess there's a servo right down here. Right there. And those levers, that one and this one, are what runs the defrog. So it's either that servo, or those are stuck, or controls. Hope it ain't the controls, because those sound expensive. Right, Duff? So yeah, you can see I was playing with those levers down there, and the defrog's working. Well, was working while I was holding that lever. Blew crap all over. So now we need to determine if it's that guy, or if it's the servo, or the wiring. I'm guessing it's this thing, the way it's all just kind of flashing up here when you push the button. Not good, I don't think. I don't know. What a hokey design. Just gotta go back to cables and levers. Heading to boom tubes. You gonna find some cats out here to chase Duff? We're at boom tubes here. We got our DCM flywheel grinding machine. So pretty much all this thing is a big stone that spins around. You clamp it to this turntable, spin around. Screws are all up real nice. And it's cheap too. Just like everything at boom tubes. I figured it'd be like a taper, like a wheel balancer that just kind of, oh, yeah. They are!
Some of them are straight if you got the right diameter to fit in the center there where the crank goes.
Yeah, we're getting all kinds of an education here. This trip might be expensive now.
Yeah.
$10 to machine it, $20 if you watch.
And 30 for lip.
And what's this thing? Just a
stone dresser.
Oh, for cleaning that up.
Yeah. They do wear.
This is a stone dresser and Brian's a cross dresser. Only on Sundays.
Okay. I think I'll probably just touch the stone since to dress it up.
Oh, Brian likes dressing up. I guess we think there's a power issue up there, so now we're gonna do a will it run on a John Deere, and we're gonna do some unsafe, sketchy things to try to fix said power. Well, it's alive. What is this thing? It's a John Deere. That's a 6030. It's the only thing that runs in the yard because it's all full of Fords. Definitely not OSHA approved, kids. Don't try this at home. Well, we got our flywheel all nice and resurfaced from boom tube. I don't know, we're gonna have to call him Flywheel Franny. Flywheel Phil? Flywheel Phil! New name for boom tube, Brian. Go for a ride, Duff? Go to the fancy shop? Alright, going without you. Change your mind? Let's go! Silly dog. Let's get our flywheel on, all resurfaced up. Gonna smear a dab of grease in this pilot bearing. Got these torqued down to 7 ugga-duggas. Now we're gonna grab the pressure plate and clutch disc. Whatever, all that stuff. You know what I mean. These things. Oh, we got our throw-out bearing to put on too. So these guys usually say flywheel side. Right there. If you can't read, it's usually the less of the deep two sides in. You know what I meant. The more shallow. And then you use this handy dandy guy to line her up. And once you get that lined up, set that up there, put the 6 bolts in, tighten them up in a nice torque pattern thinger, little bobber, and then you're good to go. So I'm gonna smear some grease in there and we'll put that together. A dab will do ya. That's the flywheel, so the flywheel side goes against that. Use our little handy dandy alignment tool. Set this guy up here, try to figure out where the bolt's gotta go. And these bolts, they got that, not a shoulder in there, but they're real short bolts, but they got that non-threaded area. Clutch bolts always do. That way they get a little bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? Spring tension, constant tension, spring load, clamp load. You get your clamp load. Is that what I'm looking for? Bolt stretch. Bolt stretch. That's what we're looking for. You want bolt stretch. Should be 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I like to just snug them up a little bit and then get it all the way. And hopefully this slides out. Yep. And we're ready to put our bell housing back on as soon as we replace the throwout bearing. So here is your throwout bearing. This notch here is what your shift fork rides on. That pushes on that diaphragm, which these are just a big lever or a spring that takes tension off that disc. When it does that, it allows your clutch to slip and not transfer engine power down your drive line. And these things usually make a howling noise when they're bad. And you always want the big side facing against your clutch diaphragm fingers. They're pretty easy. Just little springy clips in here, slide her in place. Gonna need 2 hands. You get the gist of it. Slide our bell housing into place, being careful not to pinch any of these wires. Oh yeah, we gotta line up this clutch ball socket over here to the left. This guy right here. Gotta go into there. Come on. Oh yeah. That's the way we like it. 6 more bolts holding that in. 2 of them with wire harnesses bolted into the holes. Somebody who wasn't a hack mechanic like me would probably pressure washed all this. Well, you guys know how much I love pressure washing, and I know how much you guys love watching it. If you do love watching pressure washing, go on over to Puddin's Pressure Washing. He likes that stuff. Doing it with his shirt off and whatnot. Can you imagine having a neighbor like that? We should go interview his neighbors. Oh, that's how hot this clutch was. Melted the wire surround right to the bell housing. Springs are the devil.
Oh, the devil!
Springs hooked up. We should grease that Z-bar too while we're up here, huh? I'm sure it's probably been greased twice in its life. The day it was new and the other time. A little's good, a lot's better. Well, now I guess it's time to slide a transmission in here. That should be solid entertainment. We're gonna need to get that in the right spot too. Just want to clean up the input shaft where it rides on the clutch and the throwout bearing, and the input collar, front bearing retainer where it rides on the throwout bearing. Throwout bearing? Yeah, that. Put a little croil on there to assist in the assembly. What'd we do, Duff? we ran and we got our super scraper, got this all cleaned up, and then we had a gasket laying around. This one I had was for like a 99-06 NP246, but GM did her up right. Same bolt pattern as the old 208. So we stuck that son of a biscuit on there. Got all right stuff on the backside to hold her in place, hopefully, till we can get her up there. Now we're gonna manhandle that son of a biscuit up there and blow out her back and probably drop it. Swear a bunch, but see what happens. Is there a wrench for taking these Speedo nuts off? Or does everybody just use pliers? Like, you know. Best pliers they make. Bang for your buck. CTs. Fight me. 208C. Alright, reverse lights. We're running out of fun stuff. Reverse lights are hooked up, ready for rear drive shaft. Probably should have put a pinion seal in when we had this part, huh? Next time. Rear drive shaft done. Well, we pulled a bonehead move and let the cap fall and lost all the needles, so we're just gonna go ahead and stick a new 369 Moog universal joint in this thing. Precision part number is the same. Hencho and Mexico, real good. We're gonna do this without a torch. Usually I like doing it with a torch because that's how I do it, but we're doing it old style. Hammer and a vise. I'll get them started with the punch. And then maybe it'll pop right out of there. Probably not though. These little channel lock pliers, they're the freaking best for these little snap rings. Get ourselves a socket. Like it's 3/4 today. Can't beat that through. See that thing's protruding out there? We'll clamp the vise on that, twist that out. It might just slide out after that, this style. Yep. Oh. Oh yeah. There you go. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Who's blowing up my phone? Told you not to bother me when I'm putting U-joints in.
I said don't disturb you, I'm cleaning my room!
So now we'll just take this little flapper, clean these up just a hair. You don't want to get too wild. Just touch them up. We're gonna put a little lube in there. Sneak a couple of caps off this joint. And you always want to make sure that that fitting is facing somewhere you can get at it. So we're going to have it facing towards the back. And then you get this cap started. And hold up against this cap with the cross here. Tap that down. Go just past where that groove is for your snap ring. And we do our other side. Slide her up in there so that you're using the cross to kind of line both of these caps. You don't want to wail on it, so use a small hammer. Your valve adjusting hammer. You always want to make sure that it moves. If it gets tight, you gotta back her back out of there, and that's no fun. Well, we got it started good. Pop this clip in, and then beat that other side up against this clip, stick that other clip in, and we're done other than putting a grease zerk in. I kind of want to say this is the easiest one I've ever done, but I don't want to jinx myself, so I won't. Always use your favorite socket for this. Ruin it good. Make sure that moves nice and free, or you're in trouble. I like using a punch knocking these in place just to make sure. Never had a drive shaft. Oh, I have dropped a couple drive shafts. Never mind. They make a lot of noise. And they wreck things. And you have to walk home. Alright. Now just the grease zerk. 5/16 nut driver usually works good, or a 1/4 inch drive ratchet. Stick her in. We should grease that once we get it in there. And that. You know, I said this side's easy. These constant velocity or whatever they call these things. These things are miserable because you get 2 joints and then this ball and socket in the middle, and they're not much fun. And if you let them go too far, it's frickin' scrap iron. And usually they're wasted on the splines down here, but this one seems tight. Lucky Duff. All this room for activity and cat chase in here, and you're just hanging out right there. I said cat, now you're looking for it. All right, let's wrap this thing up. I think all that's left here is to check some fluids, because I know we lost a little bit out of the transmission, the transfer case. Since we're at it, we're gonna check the rear diff and the front diff. And they're all gonna be low, and I don't know where Muffin's got his fluids at, so that's about where we're gonna end it here. But I was gonna show you a neat little trick if I can find a zip tie. But anyway, usually you pull out a plug. Oh hey, you're opening doors all on your own. Nice work. Such a smart dog. Like I was saying, you grab a zip, you pull the plug out of your transfer case or your transmission or your differential. You can't really tell, you know, it's just supposed to be filled up to that plug. So you take a zip tie and you put a 90-degree bend in it, you just pinch her off, and it usually ends up at 90 degrees. And then you use said bent 90-degree zip tie to stick in the hole and see, and then you pull it out and you see, it's like a dipstick. It's a zip stick. You don't like my jokes? Zip stick. I'm gonna patent that. The Mortske zip stick. Now if I can just find a zip tie. Ooh. I think they were in this one, right? Yeah! Look at all those zip ties. Zip ties for days. We don't need a long one. Let's use a yellow one. We're not racist here. Whatever color. So, like I said, you take said zip tie and you bend it with one hand. And see, you pinch her off. And it gets you pretty close to 90 degrees. So then we'll take all the inspection plugs out, stick that in there, see where we're at. Right? While I'm doing that, you go ahead and clean up this mess so we're allowed to come back. Maybe we'll go for a ride in Muffin's Big Brother's 58 and that 400 horsepower 383 stroker. Because yeah, I know you guys love Fords that are built tough with Chevy stuff. Yeah. We will demonstrate here for you on the front diffie here. Got our plug out. So we take our zip tie, probe her in there, you pull it out, and you can see that the oil's pretty much right to the top. Good to go. Now just got to do it on transfer case, transmission, and rear differential. And of course, when I was looking for that plug, sometimes they're on the side here, I noticed that there's our breather hose, what's left of it, and the rest is up here. So we need to put one of those on there, because when those plug up and you blow out your axle seals or your pinion seal, because it's got a vent somewhere, and that's plugged full of dirt. So we'll put that on the list of things to fix. But oh, I did see Muffin had some hose up here on the wall. Oh yeah. So we got our new breather hose on the front diffie. That diffie was full. Ouch, son of a biscuit. Transmission's full. Transfer case is way low, so we need to find some ATF. Rear diff is full, and the breather tube for that one looks good. Let's check the breather up top, make sure that dingle ball is loose. Real nice. So I guess we need to find some ATF. You know where the ATF's at, Duff? Yeah, me either. It's ATF stash, so I brought some Wally World Special Super Tech, so you know it's good. And Watch West Work says, get one of these Mighty Vacs. It's a fluid extractor and fluid installer. We're gonna extract it out here and put it into there. Let's see how this goes. This son of a biscuit goes way down there. So I don't know how much these transfer cases hold, but I put like at least 2 quarts in there, and it ain't full yet, but I can read it on the zip tie stick. The zip stick! So, I'm calling it good. We'll top it off when we get back to the shop. Just kidding, you know that'll never happen. All right, thanks Muffin for letting us use your shop. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Ow, I just hit myself in the face with a Swedish nut lathe. Hopefully he lets us come back, because this was nice. We even kind of cleaned up here just a little bit. Never mind this bath towel that we're using. Let's get this sucker on the ground and see if it does clutch things. Let's show you guys how to put a shifter on. It's a lot easier than you'd think. You gonna show them? So you basically just drop the shifter in, and then you slide this little tabby in here, and there's a couple of roll pins. You just push her down, turn it a couple of degrees, latches right in place. Let's see if we can show you those said roll pins. See, there's where they come in from the outside. There's how they look on the inside. You do not want to pound those in, assuming that it's a roll pin going all the way through. Bad things will happen. Don't ask me how I know. And then we got to put the boot on after that. Das Boot. But we're probably just gonna forget about the boot for now. So we want to see if it works, right, Duff? Is that what you're whining about? All right, here we go. There you have it. Just that easy. Well, we got our shifter back in. I guess Duff says it's nap time. Should we see if it'll start? Ugh. How does the pedal work? Goes right to the floor. Well, wish we'd have addressed that before we put it up in the air on the ground. God, it's getting too late for this. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Awesome possum. So what's causing that? Clearly it's because the spring is missing somewhere. Oh, Muffin, you got such a nice clean floor. Where did that rod through the floor go? Right there. And she's rusty and kind of slopped out. So are we getting some play there? So as that pushes down, that pulls that back. So that spring should be pulling it ahead. Why? I don't get it. Oh, found it. Hold the phone. I'm supposed to hook this rod behind here. This guy is what pushes the fork and the clutch. That'll do it. This would have been way easier on the hoist. I'm gonna grab a wrench. The Swedish nut lathe to save the day. There we go. Oh, just a... Oh, for cheese and rice. Money in the bank. I'm guessing I forgot to hook that up when I was doing throw bearing. Try number 2. Numero dos. Swedish nut lathe. Works as a pry bar too. What's this? Oh, channel lock brand. Made in Spain. Very nice. All right. Let's see what happens now. Push the pedal. Don't go to the floor. Woohoo! What do you think, Duff? you don't look too enthusiastic. Hard to please around here. Quarter bog pump. Even idles. Reverse. First. Very nice. Well, let's take this thing for a rip, I guess. Oh, it's got lights. I can't tell if the ones in the dash lit up. Oil pressure is real low, like 0. And it's not coming up, so maybe it doesn't have any. Then again, I feel like it's not at 140 degrees as soon as I started it up. And it's probably charging. So I feel like the whole cluster doesn't have power. Well, why would that work? Because that's busted. We got one tail light. Oh, chicken chasers. 3 out of 5. Not bad. That's more than 50%. 2 headlights. A marker light. That marker light. That marker light. Not that one. Good enough to get us to town. I think we're gonna wait till it's daylight, then we'll take her for a test drive. No, not right now. Wait till it's daylight. Then the people can see things. It'll be okay, I know. Poor Duff. Got it so rough. Let's get it out of here though. So you got Big Red here to town. Clifford the Big Red Dog, whatever you want to call it. We'll go for a test drive tomorrow. Duff wasn't with, so it's not Duff approved. Now that we're all practiced up and swapping square body seats, let's get this thing out of here. We got our 9/16 on our screw gun, 2 bolts on the front, 1 on each side, and then 1 on each side in the back. And I know you're gonna have to get off the seat so that I can get the back ones, but we'll get the front ones without you. There we go. You know what's coming up. Peekaboo. I'll put that seat on the floor and you can lay on it down there. That's a lot of mouse house down there, it looks like. Perfect. I find it's easier to slide them out the passenger side so the steering wheel ain't in the way, but what do I know? Ooh boy, Duff. That's a lot of inhabitants. Got some insulated bibs from walls. More matches. You suppose these matches from goodness knows when? At least it's a 7-digit phone number. Are gonna light? Ooh, it wanted to go. Oh! Oh! We haven't started a fire in a really long time. Oh, I'm not gonna throw that in there to start said fire either. We haven't found an OJ glove in a while either. That's legit leather. Oh! Score! Pliers! Seized up. Jimmy was definitely a smoker. Still good. All the fires. America. Be a good one. Hey, it moves. PM, Popular Mechanics. That's a saver. Man, we even got her cleaned out, but Jimmy was a big dog. Look, he cracked off the floor on this thing. If only the rest of the paint was that good and shiny and rust-free. It's gonna be real nice. That red seat's gonna look real silly with tan seat belts, but whatever. Wish I had that missing clamp so I could put the whole gun rack up there. Missing that top one. Oh well. I was thinking about taking that down, but it's kind of nice to reach over there and grab that when you're looking back and backing up. Midwest air conditioning, sliding rear window. We're kind of all about that square body life now. Local guy stopped by, said, "You got a lot of junk." That's not what he said, but I got a lot of junk. He said, "I got an 80 Chevy, 3/4 ton, 2-wheel drive. You want to buy it?" I said, "No." And he gave me a price, and I said, "Okay." I'll take it. Just kidding, there was some negotiation that took place, but 80's kind of a neat 1 year only grill. Go see how the marker light on that thing's a 74. This marker light's all one piece. First year the single square headlights. And then they got the hoods that got the dimple up here. I don't know if they all had that. This is a Scottsdale. So here's what we got. Got a pretty decent front clip, good hood, probably some good hood hinges, chrome bumper, 16-inch 8-lug wheels. The motor's half tore apart, V8, small block. I think this seat is gonna be good enough. And then we don't have to swap brackets and stuff, and it might even clean up a little bit. And it's tan, like that other pickup's got. AM, FM radio, auto column, pedals. It's got a turbo 350 tranny that we can put in that there 62 Chevy crew cab. We just gotta find a small block to bolt to it. Small mirrors, so we can put those on that thing. We're missing a wing window, both wing windows, and some door glass. So we get all that stuff. We could get a pickup box trailer if we needed one, but we don't have a tailgate. Looks like a core battery. We got a drive shaft for that crew cab too. We can make work maybe. Pretty decent radiator. Just kidding, it's all green at the bottom. Junk. Crappy smog heads. 2-barrel? Oh, it's got the ugly 2-barrel. What else is in here? Anything good? Nope. Crappy 2-barrel intake. Yeah, he's got the oil pan off. It's all exposed to the weather, so it's freaking junk. Yeah, we'll get a radio, seat, wheels, tires for a roller, get a couple bucks out of the battery core and the radiator. Probably sell the 350 core to somebody. Oh my gosh, a starter. Oh, squirrel. HEI distributor. That thing doesn't look that old either. Good cap and wires. Yeah, all kinds of goodies. The gift keeps on giving. Plus we'll get like gas pedal assembly and throttle cable and all kinds of stuff that we're missing for that 62. I was really stoked about the mirrors. More stoked than I should be. Before we stick that in there, let's take a look at these things. You can see this 80 seat has these big heavy springs in there versus these little tiny springs. I'm guessing that's going to be better. The covers on the pivot area are a little bit different. The sliders look the same. Oh, look at this. The lever is up front on the 86 model. She's on the side on an 80. Hopefully everything's kind of in the same spot. I don't know. What do you think, Duff? Slide it in there? See if it fits? I got a feeling that it will. Yep, they cheapened them up because I carried this thing from across the street and I've carried that around and it's significantly heavier. These ones are than those ones. So I don't know if the foam, I don't know. Frames are heavier or what? Oh, and the seat belts. These got the holes for the seat belts. Oh, it's got all these springs along here too. These don't have holes for the seat belts. They snuck in through the back. Safety, we don't worry about that. All right, we're jabbing it in. Yeah, definitely way heavier. Get our back bolt started first. I got both bolts started over here, so should be good to go. We can throw a quick cheapy cover on it. It'll be fine. Way better than it was. Kind of matches the rest of the pickup. Oh yeah, it's plush. Come up here and check it out, Duff. Go for a ride. Ba, 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 ba. You don't look enthused. What a chances this even does anything. You know what's gonna happen? This is gonna look so good, and then I'm gonna have to do the whole seat. Dang, that ain't bad. It smells of rich Corinthian leather.
Yes, even rich Corinthian leather.
Dang, that's pretty respectable right there. What do we say? Good enough for the girls we go with. Duff's gonna get that side all dirty anyway. 10 minutes of scrubbing, some simple green. a brush, some half-used blue shop towels. Not bad. I think a guy could do it a little bit more, but seat's torn, pulling apart. We don't want it too nice because then we'd have to do door panels and find door lock handles, fix window seals and door seals, all that. We do need to fix those chicken chasers. That annoys me. But we got a seat and it's respectable looking and even more comfortable, like our own lazy boy. The weather's changing, but you know what ain't changing? Mower man. He's not wearing a mask. Still wearing the same pajamas. He's got a full load of groceries though, so he ain't gonna have to come back for a couple days, right, Duff? No, he'll be back tomorrow. We know better. So we got our front drive shaft off. Here's our front output yoke, I guess we'd call it. 1.1" socket. We gotta get that yoke out of the way, and then we can put our seal in because this thing is leaking profusely. See how this goes. Kind of figured that was gonna spin. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy with the BADBH. Along with some, oh, son of a biscuit. Oh, good thing I had a pan. And only a few ounces down my shirt sleeve. Wow, who'd have thought that was gonna happen? Son of a biscuit. All right, there's our seal. Before I put our new one in, let's take a look at this yoke. And it's pretty chewed up. Wish we had a speedy sleeve for that. But we don't, so we're gonna stick a new seal in it. Hopefully that fixes it. If not, we're gonna have a speedy sleeve later. You can see why that leaks, because not only because of this, because the oil sits significantly higher than the sealing surface. And you know, we're gonna have to wash this shirt. I don't know what they call these. A seal puller, probably. It's a performance tool. Part number W is in whiskey 1219. You just kind of hook that in there and rip these things out. It usually destroys them, but that's fine. Of course, usually you got a little bit more room than this. This is gonna be a bugger. There's the rubber part of the seal and more. Just get that outer lip out of there. Oh, son of a biscuit. There. There you have it. One seal removal. Here's our new one. It even says outside, so you know which way to put it in there. It's CR part number 18662. I wonder if we can just tap that in there.
Just tap it in. Just tap it in. Give it a little tappy. Tap, tap, tap-a-roo.
Wes, he would have a driver just for this. I mean, just, there's probably a torque on it. Again, Wes would know that, but we're just gonna give her a couple ugga-duggas, call it good. He would probably put some type of Loctite on there too, because he loves the Loctite, don't you, Wes? Again, if this thing leaks, we'll see if we can find another yoke or put a speedy sleeve on this, but we got time for that today.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I did check to make sure that fit the seal first. Believe it or not. And I had this socket, 44 millimeter. I don't know why I bought that, but I was gonna use that to pound that in there just in case the seal didn't want to go straight. Again, we don't need that either. Should be good. Still turns freely. All right, let's fill her back up with fluid, put the front drive shaft in. Should be all wrapped up down here. Well, after some guidance from the duffel up, I guess, I think here's what we're gonna do. Fix this taillight. We're gonna follow along the pinstripe line number 2 of 5. Then we're gonna go vertically up here. We're still gonna have a little bit of dent here to work out, but I think hopefully we can get in from behind and not have to cut further ahead. Then we're gonna go up to here, and then where it's nice and flat, we only got a cut deal here, and then it's a stake pocket. And then I think we're just gonna cut on this side of the stake pocket right here. And everything's pretty much loose in here. I say pretty much, but we shall find out. And then obviously we're gonna probably have to do some cutting in there, but it's pretty much tore through. We'll get that off, try to get that inner structure knocked straight, And then we'll start doing some banging on that. Hopefully we don't make it any worse than it already is, which is really impossible. I mean, we can always just stick a little trailer light in there, call her good. Cowboy things, Duff. Come on. West of 281, it'll be fine. It'll match the mud flaps and the big bumper. Also, the exhaust that I thought I was going to be able to use off that 80, yeah, with that big bumper, it's not going to work. So we got to have bends put in it. I think it's just going to be easier just to take her to Boom Tube and have him do it upright and put some nice new stuff on there. Yeah, it's going to cost money, but whatever. I hate doing exhaust. Duff likes it, though. All right, we're going to get to cutting. You can see I had a couple of spot welds there that were holding me at the end. We got her. A lot of ways to skin a cat. A lot of ways to skin a box. Wish it wasn't snowing out and go out and use the old stump. Do a little body work on this. We still might have to out in the snow. Or we could wheel the stump in here. Now we're talking. So here you can see, yeah, they kind of like tried to rework that inner structure. And the old bedside's pretty floppy doppy. Because right here where it's, this bracket in here is kind of a support, and that's where all the dirt sits, causing them to rust out here. That's broken, so maybe we can weld that up too while we're at it. But we could pull that out a little bit, and then pull this out a little bit. We kind of want to do that before we get everything all squared up. Let's take the tape off, you know, just to make it look better. Oh, so good. Now, if you were a real fanatic, you'd clean all this up and prime it or something, but not us. There again, you could see the two spot welds that were fighting me. What do you think, Stumpy? Should we wail away on it? I guess first I'll pull those out. You don't think it's just gonna pull right out? I think it will. Maybe. Use the old English knee a bit. Oh yeah. Frick. Like Chip Foose did it. Can massage that later if we need to. While we're at it, we might as well get this straight. And we might as well take the tailgate hinge latch assembly off so we can get at it easier. Do a little plumbing. A little bit at a time, just work our way down. It ain't perfect, obviously. The nice part about beating on here is all that's pretty much hidden when the tailgate's closed. And it doesn't even look too terrible bad. I wish I could get it to come out a little bit more right there. I suppose we could pull that bump stop off. We can always do that later. See how it goes. Again, that's not really cosmetic. So now we're gonna take and beat on that. Like I said, I got this to come out, got that out a little bit. It's not gonna be perfect, but it'll look better and hopefully it'll hold the tail light. Oh, again, the reason I cut it down here is I figured that's a silver line. So if we put a little primer in there, nobody will know the difference, right? I do have a body hammer, but I mean, these things are so creased and stretched and everything that that body hammer, I'd be beating on it all day. So we're just going all out here. I guess my method is just a little bit at a time. You know, don't think you're gonna knock that dent out in one slug. Just kind of tap around, move a little bit. Because it's gonna stretch all that metal. So we got really no way to shrink it. Just getting it better, that's all we're doing. Got that dent pretty much out. Then we'll start working onto this one and then over to these creases and down to here. That's why I like a stump. You can kind of move it around the edges. It's not going to scratch it up too much because it's wood. We're getting pretty smooth. Well, not pretty smooth. We're getting it smoother, but it's got kind of the wrong shape here. We should probably check and see, but I think we gotta get this all to come way out. Yeah, we gotta bring this radius way out. So we're back slamming on this thing, and you know how I didn't like this radius here? Yeah, Duff knows I didn't like it. I took and made a template. Good old Keith Stone here. And just used the tail light actually, and got it pretty close, and then I whittled it down a little bit more to match the bedside, because you can see that radius in the tail light doesn't quite match. And left and right should be the same, you just gotta flip it upside down. And you can see the thing's like over a ½ inch off. So we got to do some whaling away on that thing. So in order to get that radius tighter, we need a concave surface to pound that against. So I went to a Bailey metal shaping shop, I don't know, about 5 years ago. And Joe Milkey from Snap Fabrications, I think he's out of Sturgis now. He said, get yourself one of these stumps. So that's kind of where this come from. Yeah, this stump's been around for about 5 years. And I still haven't done it, but you take a circular saw and you make a bunch of plunge cuts here, and then clean her up with your grinder, and then you'll have a nice bowl there to do stuff like that. So we're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna ruin our stump, Duff. You still want to pee on it, I know you do. All right, we're gonna do some woodworking. We ain't done much woodworking on Mortske here. We smashed a few 2x4s getting engines loose. You'll have to watch another episode for that. But let's get the saw away. Well, it ain't perfectly smooth. I mean, you can whittle away at this forever. The beauty is you can set the plunge depth. I don't know if that's what you call it. You can set the depth on your circular saw to however big of a radius you need. So I just set her to full depth, you know? What the hell? And then obviously this side's a little bit screwed up, but you can just work it. It's a pretty tight radius over here, a little bit looser over here, you know? You can do whatever you want. If you really want to get crazy, you can slather this thing in linseed oil or something to try to keep water from getting in there. I'm probably going to regret doing that, but maybe we'll smear some used oil on it or something. What do you say, Duff? Oh, you just want to eat the chunks of wood that I knocked out of there? Another thing, do this outside, because not only is it smoky from the grinding, but it's also dusty. And definitely should have done this when it was nice out. But I've had this stump for, like I said, 5 years and been meaning to do this. Worst case scenario, we just flip it upside down. We could do it all over again, or we go get another one. But hopefully this works for what we got to do. Let's start banging away. What do you say, Duff? Should we knock it out? You just want to go shoot some birds. Maybe this afternoon. How's about that? We're about a ½ inch off or more. You can see we're not perfectly tight in the middle, and this trailing edge is off a bit. I could work with a little bit more. I think that's about as good as we're gonna get it. I do have a planishing hammer in the back. I might run it through that a couple times. I know most of you guys don't have stuff like that, but I just want to show you what you can do with a circular saw, a hammer, a stump, and a little bit of patience. The great thing about this, you aren't really out anything other than a little bit of time. It's gonna be better than it was, and you're learning. You know, that's what I'm always trying to do, is just keep improving my skills. So just playing with this stuff, and you'll learn how metal kind of moves and what to do, what not to do. Just kind of trial and error. So yeah, I think we're getting pretty close to what we're gonna call good enough. Like I said, I think I'm gonna try that planishing hammer because I've never really used it. See if we can't get it a little bit better. So this here is my planishing hammer. Again, never used this thing. It's I don't know, probably about 5 years old. Made by Clutch. I think I got it eBay, Amazon, something like that. It's a cheap one. And pretty much all it is this frame with an air hammer in it, with a flat die on the bottom, or the top, I guess I should call it. And then you got these interchangeable dies on the bottom. You know, the more radius, the more arch it's gonna put in the panel. So we got the flattest one in here. So that's a 2-inch radius. What do they call this? 1-inch radius. And a 3-inch radius. So we got the flattest one we got in there. We're just gonna put that panel in there and just work it back and forth and try to smooth it out. It looks like there's some adjustments so I can slow this thing down. It does have a foot control down here. See if it even works. Holy shnikes. It works. You're probably supposed to have metal in there when you do that. Anyway, we're gonna give it a shot. This might be ugly. It's gonna be loud, so put your ear protection in. I have no idea what I'm doing here, so bear with me. I think we gotta lift this up. Put the pin in. And we engage this lever. I don't know. Let's see what happens. So you have it. It's a little bit better. I guess I have no idea what I'm doing here, but we kind of worked a few of those little rimples out. I guess I kind of put a little bit bigger dent in right here. Maybe if we put it the other way. We'll try that. Let's try it. Oh yeah, I worked her down a little bit. I mean, it's not ready for paint by any means, but more than anything, I'm just kind of practicing up in case I get to some high dollar project that I want done up right someday. Better than it was. All right. Let's go do some welding. See if it fits. See where her radius is at. She's still pretty good. Within a 1/4 inch or 5/16 anyway. Let's stick her on. See what we got. Whoops. So you got a couple clamps on here. I think I got this out too far and that in too far, so we can blend the two off. But obviously you're gonna have your gap that you have of your cutting wheel, so you gotta fill that or else cheat everything ahead. But it's fitting up pretty good. You know, it's little kitty wampus there, but that's to be expected. So yeah, I really should grind it a little bit first, but let's see if we can fill it without. Wish I had somebody to push in on this while I did it, but again, no thumbs Duff, full of excuses. We're gonna start in the body line right here, kind of in, that way it's kind of in the middle so we can work each direction. Again, if we screwed up, we can always cut our tacks and move away. So just like they tell you on the big fancy shows, I just kind of moved around with the heat a little bit, but probably not as much as I should have because I'm not really worried about it warping because look what we got. I think it'll be good enough. It's going to be a little bit low where we welded down here, and I think it's a little bit high up here, but you could maybe tap that in a bit. But should we address that? We'll see. But we're going to grind it down a little bit and make sure the tail light fits. We should have probably done that before we burned it in. And I just forgot, we should have fit up the tailgate too, but we'll get it fit one way or another. So, let the grinding commence. Got her ground down. Like I said, she's a little bit low right here, a little bit high here. There's a couple pinholes I could go back and fill. I don't know how I feel about doing that. Might just leave it. Clearly we're not hiding anything here, what we did. We're not gonna mud it in anything, so I think I might just give her a quick wipe with a blue shop rag and maybe foo-foo some red paint onto it. Or maybe not, I don't know. Little character, the old Red Rider here. But yeah, looks like it's kind of straightish there. Hopefully a tailgate fits. And it should hold a tail light. I don't know. We're gonna make both of those fit. Worst case scenario, we narrow up a tailgate and cut a bunch of plastic off a taillight. We'll get her in there one way or another. How better than it was though? I mean, the last guy tried real hard to fix it, so ours is way more gooder. Definitely not a how-to here, just how I do it. Get the hammer out, get your stump, start wailing away. Learn as you go. All right, moment of truth. Let's see if the tailgate fits. I was gonna put the taillight in first, but I figured if we gotta bang this around to get the tailgate fit, let's not have the taillight in there and smash that up. How's that for brilliant ideas?
Brilliant!
Oh, son of a biscuit. Oh, should go over just a little bit more. That whole thing got pushed over that far. We're about a ½ inch off, folks. I think most of it's down there in the hinge though. Top part should be good. So you can see how it kind of tapers in a little bit at the bottom. I should have looked at that before and I should have done some measuring, but I didn't. You can see it's a little bit chewed up here. And then this whole thing kind of, the hinge is kind of tipped sideways like that. It should be straight, but she's tipped over, so we're gonna straighten her out. The way I think it should be anyway. Yeah, you better go hide, Duff. Things might get ugly. Oh yeah. Real nice. Good enough for a ranch truck. Still a little tight. Hey. I gotta straighten the bumper out because she's hitting the bumper down there, keeping it from folding down. More? Nice. Well, that ain't moved in a while. All right. Moment of truth. Wonder when the last time this thing latched. Well, she ain't pretty, but that'll do, pig. That'll do.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
All right, now let's see if we can get a taillight in the dang thing. Taillights? Of course not. The other side. Oh yeah. Well, since we don't have any brake lights on either side, looks like the switch is hooked up underneath the dash, so I'm guessing the issue is either underneath or a fuse. So I'm gonna do some digging. I'm guessing something got cut underneath here, but see what we find. Oh man, we're dragging everything out here. So after doing some chasing, that's the backup light. We got power at the firewall for those, but not back here. So somewhere between here and there, we don't have backup lights. And the sockets, where are they at? For the brake lights were just completely rotted out. Oh? You don't like electrical either? The sockets are completely rotted out. So, luckily saved the taillight harness out of that 80, and we just grafted the plugs on there. And now show them. Show them what you got, Duff. Just an angry puppy. Angry. So now we got taillights. Of course, snapped off the screws over here, or they wouldn't drill out, so they were stripped out, so I had to drill them out. Chicken chasers are still working. Hit the brakes. And we got brake lights. Both sides? Oh yeah. So this little 1194 bulb should be a clearance light, but that ain't working. We're not getting any power back here, so I think it just needs a harness coming back here, and there's some sketchy stuff going on down underneath around the license plate lights for the trailer socket. We don't care about that stuff. We got tail lights, brake lights. Good enough for the girls we go with. Right, Duff? What are you so angry about today? You're an angry Duff. Kick that out of reverse so we don't crank it over and do that. So looks like we're gonna have to pull that marker light apart, finish putting that stuff back together. How about the other beamage? High beam indicator, that don't work. Looks like all our beamages are working. Two going. You're not a lot of assistance. All you do is flick the switch. I swear you don't even need thumbs to do that. Oh, no! Come on, baby. Son of a biscuit. I guess we'll just leave it on the other beams for now. She needs a right front headlight, Duff. Keep that noted. You don't look, you just want to go for a ride, I know it. All right. I'm gonna start doing light things. Got our tail lights in, tailgate on, lights working. You can see she's in a little bit far there. Well, or the light's out. I think the light needs to come ahead. I could spend some time with that, but I'm calling it good. I'm debating whether I missed that in or not. What are you thinking, Duff? I say we just leave it as a badge of pride. I don't know, really proud of it, but either way. They're gonna kick this thing outside for a bit and do some pressure washing. It's getting dark, so I'm not gonna record that. And sorry for all you guys that like seeing me pressure wash, and gals. So this thing's just super greasy under here, and there's some coolant leaking. I think it's actually coming from the hybrid block heater pluggage, right? So I just want to clean it all up and see what's leaking. I'm thinking it's the valve covers and that frost plug, but we're gonna get it all cleaned up. Right, Duff? So that's what I'm gonna do. And you guys will probably see us, I don't know, what we're gonna do. Take it to the exhaust shop next, take it for a drive. We'll see. Still a few things to do. Fuel tank selector is flipped over to the left side, so why wouldn't we fill that up? Yeah, I quickly found out we shouldn't do that. We did get exhaust from Boom Tube. Got that all dirty and broke in. Got some double filtration glass packs. They actually don't sound too bad. Not a glass pack guy, but whatever. He snuck them outside like I like. Old Boom Tube, he knows what's up. Well, hopefully the right tank is better than the left tank. The way it's running out of there, I don't think it's, I don't know what it is. It's bad. They run about $30. Sorry, Greta.
How dare you?
Look at that. Yeah, you can't even notice that bodywork. Yep, got the exhaust even more muddy. Let's let you in there before you get muddy and get it all over our new seat. Come on. We should probably put gas in it, in the other side. Right, Duff? Oh, Rooster. Get him next time. All right. don't like that clutch switch. It's hard on starters. Can barely hear it, Duff. Isn't that good? Oh, we gotta go back to the gas pumps. I kind of left in a hurry last time because I didn't want anybody to see me leaking all that fuel all over. Doesn't even die. As it dies, I might have to take it off in a second. Definitely rides like a 3/4 ton. Like a lumber wagon, an ox cart. Can't remember all the stuff you guys said in the 66 video, but there's some good ones in there. It's like a big jump between gears. Kind of feels like it's got, must have 373s in it. I don't think they're 410s. On the way back from Boom Tubes, she wasn't barking really at 65 mile an hour, and the only gauge that works. I mean, the fuel gauge is stuck at half, but I feel like the fuel gauge runs on ohms and power and ground, and the speedo is mechanical. None of the other gauges work, so I think, yeah, I think we don't have any gauges. So I'm gonna put some gas in because this stuff that's in here has got to be a few years old, and we don't want to run out. And I tried putting gas in earlier, and a lot of it ran out. So I don't know. We need to see if that tank is even hooked up. This thing's kind of turning into a money pit. The exhaust was 475-ish bucks. The clutch was like 125 bucks. Machining it was another 40 bucks. But what, like a $10 or $20 seal in the transfer case. Put a battery in it. Put fuel in it. This is going to be twice now. You can put a headlight bulb in it. Boom Tube did say that it looked like it was a block heater that was leaking coolant, so we're gonna fix that. Put like frickin' a gallon and a half ATF in this transfer case. It takes a ton. So I mean we're getting into this thing, plus the initial cost of the pickup, so she's up there. Alright, let's put some fuel. Well, like 6.895 gallons, which is $22. Cripes, 20 bucks for a 5-gallon can of gas. 6 gallon. Let's turn the lights on. I kind of feel like it needs some new tires too, because it like starts kind of hopping, square wheeling. So maybe the tires will come out of it. I haven't had very good luck with that usually. Usually once they're square for life. It's hip to be square though, right? Square tires, square body. SpongeBob SquarePants. I mean, she peps right up. We're already doing 65 mile an hour. Right, Duff? Square body light. Oh, we can't put it. Oh, we do have a seatbelt. We did push them through. We can reach to get it. Fat! Want to get that for me, Duff? Alright. Somebody had it. Got it! Cheese and rice, that's how we don't buckle up. Takes an act of Congress. Needs a door seal. I think we could throw another couple grand at this pickup pretty easy. Whoa! Gotta fix this plastic on the dash. She's kind of rattling around. Radio don't work. Heater does though. Yeah, see about 65 she kind of starts. I'm not pleasantly surprised with this thing. She don't drive too bad. I wonder if the 4-wheel drive works. Alright, you gotta go over there. I gotta drive. No thumbs, remember? her over 70. I mean, you take it anywhere over the speed limit and she really starts dancing. Losing daylight. This guy's got to get that corn thrashed. It's almost Thanksgiving. Oh, this is where she's really going to thrive. Mucky old gravel roads. Well, there's still geeses flying around, so the blue platers will be around for a while. He's got 10,000 lakes, and you got to come to Podunk, North Dakota to shoot the ducks and geese. Wait, maybe they are out there thrashing. I wish I had a set of tires sitting around and just try on here before I buy some new ones. Find out it's got a vibration. I don't know what else it could be. Joints all seem pretty good. We haven't got to do a donut in like forever. What's the last? Did we do a donut in the short bed? OBS? Oh yeah. Right around. I'm not even looking forward to doing a donut in this. My kidneys are already just cringing thinking about it. Yeah, we got cars coming from every direction, so you guys might just get a little corner driftage action. How about that? A little second gear power slide. Donut's gonna have to wait for another day. Literally every direction. Oh, there isn't anybody behind us. She's a Bozzie. Didn't even drift it that good. She just hooks up and goes with them diggers back there. It's not a powerhouse, but she does run pretty dang good, especially for no tune-up or nothing. Boom Jim said she was a little cold starting this morning, but he's a furred guy, so he just don't know how to treat the quatter bog right. You know, just pump her until your ankles turning black and blue, and she's on fire, and then you just take a break and you do it again, and then they pop right off. And then you gotta just feather it for a while and babysit it. Oh yeah, and I bought a windshield for it too that we haven't put in yet, so that was another, I think the seal was more than the windshield, so let's just say another 200, 250 bucks there. And the seat, forgot that we bought a seat, bought a whole pickup for the seat. We got a bunch of other parts out of that $200 pickup. Yeah. Talk about a money pit. Give yourself a square body. We're probably gonna lose the shop on this one for sure. We made it. We didn't run out of fuel. Didn't blow out a tire. What was that even on? Oh, the Nissan. Liam Nissan. Yeah, I would say that's gonna take a little bit more than a tube, Duff. Oh, and it needs a clutch switch too. We need to figure out how to adjust it. What do you think, Duff? Do one paw up? Oh yeah, you like it. Well, there you have it. We got a 1984 Chevrolet K20 3/4 ton 4-wheel drive, long box, regular cab, small block, 4-speed. Back on the road after sitting for 18 years or 3 years. Who knows? We'll call it like 3. Not a bad pickup. She's dirty now though. Oh yeah, look at how we christened those nice exhaust pipes. Mud flaps doing their job. We did a little body work. We did a clutch. We still got a bunch more to do. I just listed it all in the cab. So I'm not gonna go through it again. If you think you need to own this thing, we'll put a price down below. Like I said, got a new windshield for it. We're gonna try to figure out the gauges, because you gotta have gauges. I don't think we're gonna fix fuel tank. Who needs 2? I mean, I'm sure this thing's real economical on fuel, like all square bodies are. What does Walt say? gets 15. Gets 8 on the highway and 7 in town. You guys can use that one if you want. But I think we got enough junk around here, so we don't need this one. But maybe we do need a 4-wheel drive winter beater, seeing how everything's falling apart. What do you think, Duff? He thinks Chin is more interesting than me. All right, thank you very much. Check out my other videos. If you're not part of the Duff approved membership, check that out down below. Actually been uploading some shorts, some behind the scenes stuff that we've been doing lately. A 39 Ford 2-door sedan, an F1 Ford pickup, rolling the fender lips and the OBS 92 Chevy, all kinds of cool stuff. Just some little snippets, some behind the scene action. But most of all, remember, doesn't matter how you get it done, as long as you're having fun. Oh, 62 Impala wagons are fun, especially when they got doggy doors cut into them, huh, Duff? What's in there? Maybe we'll put some behind the scene footage of that on the Duff approved. What do you say about that, Duff? All right, see you next time.